think that these women are asking for too much. Like, is $53,000 enough? Like, I don't even know if that's a real number. That's an alleged number, right? But Eliza Reign was allegedly asking Future to pay $53,000 a month. Now, I think that one of the things that we have to all understand about music is it is the show business, right? So these niggas be really kind of going up and saying that they have a lot of shit that a lot of times they don't. Future has a lot of kids, so there's a lot of mouths to feed. He's got a lot of hangers on. He's got a lot of women. There's a lot of money going out. Now, Future should be probably a little bit more cognizant about, protecting himself. But nonetheless, here we are. I think, in my opinion, I think that it doesn't matter the amount that you're asking for. I think what matters is the intention. And if the intention is you're going to ask for a particular amount because you're looking to hurt the person and not necessarily because your child is or has or will become accustomed to a particular lifestyle, then I think that that's one thing. I think intention is everything. I think intention is everything. Dr. Dre's wife, Nicole, is asking for, she wants $1.9 million to cover her expenses. And this is broken down and she wants that per month. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Yeah, she wants $1.9 million a month. That is $10,000 in laundry and cleaning, $135,000 a month for clothing, education, tuition, and living expenses, total $60,000. Entertainment totals $900,000, almost $1 million. Can you imagine what $1 million in entertainment a month looks like? Wow. Charitable contributions, $125,000. Mortgage is $100,000 a month. And telephone, cell phone bill, and email is $20,000 a month. Now, it may sound like a lot to you because you have been getting by on ramen noodles and boiled water. But for Nicole, who has been with Dr. Dre for quite some time, she has become accustomed to living this here lifestyle. What lifestyle, you ask? A rich one. A very rich one, bitch. Speaking of a very rich one, which the girls don't understand, did you guys catch Versus this week? So this week, Monday, started out with a rousing rendition of the Versus battle sponsored by Swiss Beats and Timbaland, and of course, Ciroc vodka. What would life be without it? And that's not an ad because Diddy's not paying me for shit, but why not big him up, right? So the Versus battle this week between Monica and Brandy, I thought was all the way live. I thought that I thought it was very intentional in terms of, as it should be. It's an opportunity for you to expose your platform to a generation who may not be familiar. It is a time to celebrate with a generation who has come to know, love, and support you. And it's just also a time for the fans to, like myself, to just kick back and relax and remember the times, So this Versus battle started off with a introduction by Kamala V. Harris, vice presidential Democratic nominee. And it seemed a little bit forced. She was wearing her Howard University sweatshirt and she was, giving it up. But always something feels, I don't know what it is. And maybe it is the skin that women have to develop when they're working in politics. I'm not sure. But don't the politic women give a vibe? Don't they and it doesn't matter if it is, and I almost feel like that's why I love Michelle so much, even though her husband was immersed in the vibes in politics. She always never gave me a politic vibe. There's something about politics to me that make women often often appear, because I don't know, but they often come off as rigid, aloof, and unrelatable. Yeah, I said it. That's what they give up to me. Rigid, aloof, and unrelatable. And it doesn't matter if it's Kamala, Hillary, Ocasio-Cortez. It doesn't matter. They all seem to be like pantsuit wearing, hard to, and it's not a woman thing, because the guys give the same vibe too, like Cory Book. It doesn't matter. It's almost like you are so unrelatable. It's at least it may be because of all that you know and all that you have access to and how you have to put on when you are in the building. But if I could say anything to my politicians out there, is stay relatable. And that doesn't mean talk a certain way or come on the versus battle and introduce two legends. It just means like relax your shoulders a little bit, you know? Yeah, talk to us. Don't talk at us, you know? Do you know what's going on over here? At any rate, so the girls were giving Brandy a hard time about her outfit. Mind you, Brandy was wearing a Libertine jacket and she was wearing Bottega Veneta cross-hatch mules, open-toed sandals, which a lot of you girls, if you're not, I know that a lot of y'all was probably watching it and was probably like, hypnotized by all the F's on Monica's very well-fitting, very adorable Fendi outfit. But please just know that Brandy's Libertine outfit, little jacket, was no cheap dalliance. And those shoes, honey, are some of the hottest shoes of the season. And no, they are not anything like the flat form white sandal that Monica gave us in Before You Walk Out of My Life. You guys are so corny. But as I say, that is the difference between a real fashion nigga and a jiggy nigga. They know by looking at Brandy that was no cheap outfit, okay? And there was intention behind that. I think it's very intentional that we still, view Brandy from the standpoint of she is this sweetheart who is, oh my God, this sweetheart who is still sweet and innocent and girly and just a nice little girl. I think it's important that we still see Brandy like that. And I think that outfit definitely helped to help us to see that same narrative, if you will. And I know a lot of you girls were getting into the shade of it all between the two women. I think that their personalities are perhaps, Monica was giving me very much, I was, very hostile back in the day, and I was kind of like giving it up for the hood back in the day. But now I am changed. I am reformed. I have seen the light. Okay, it feels like that's how she may be giving it up right now. And it seems like Brandy was still very much hung up on how Miss Monica was giving it up a couple of years ago. And I don't think that exists anymore. But, again, just my opinion. What do I know? Furthermore, I think that they are just two personalities that perhaps just aren't meant to be friends. What else happened this week? Rest in peace to Elie Che. Hope I'm not messing that up. Elie Che is a 23-year-old trans UK native. She was a model and a huge part of the London queer nightlife and was loved by many. Che recently relocated to New York City from Atlanta to pursue her modeling career here in the States. She was living in London for 3 years where she didn't have health care or access to hormones, but was still known as a vision of beauty from fans on Twitter. According to police, Elie was pronounced dead at the scene near Orchard Beach Road and Park Drive in the Bronx here in New York City shortly after 6 a.m. It looks like that happened sometime this week. It wasn't clear if the victim had any signs of trauma to her body or if she was closed, nor was it immediately clear was it any foul play. The medical examiner's office will conduct an autopsy to determine her cause of death. Che was hoping to break into the fashion industry, and you can go to her Instagram page. That is ELIECHE. Rest in peace to Elie Che. There will be a candlelight visual that will take place for Elie tonight. And I'm not sure, details haven't been given as to where that will happen, but her trans mother did share that would be the case. So again, rest in peace to Elie Che. Also in other exciting news this week, you know, you guys, I have to tell you, all the girls who smoke with Fanta and all that shit, I know y'all love it, but that shit, I think it makes you sound like Pop Smoke. But the girls say that they need it because the weed be out here being peppery. Can we talk for a minute about our favorite, one of our favorite friends and podcasters, Joe Budden? Now, he has been in the news recently for the announcement of his Joe Budden podcast departure from Spotify. However, he was also in the news this week as stories surfaced of him having had a physically abusive relationship with his ex-girlfriend and former Love and not former, but Love and Hip Hop cast member Tahiri. Now, Joe referred to this story in his Wednesday broadcast where he, talked about, he didn't necessarily mention her by name, but did mention the fact that one of his exes was out here lying on him. And he did admit to having a volatile relationship with her at the time, but never one that led to her nose being disfigured by him. He told of a story about him actually coming to her aid as she got into a fisticuffs with a gentleman at a strip club here in the Bronx. And he came to her rescue as she was injured by a man that she had gotten into an altercation with. She was injured, he says, in her nose, by her nose. I don't exactly know what to make of this. Now, if you know anything about Joe Budden, you know that this is not an isolated incident story, as another young lady, Esther Baxter, former video model, she also talked about an experience of some physical abuse that I don't know if she called it abuse, but she definitely described in some incidences with Joe, in terms of some rough times that she had with him. Now, listen, I don't know what to make of any of this. What I will say is that everyone has the right to tell their story and everyone has a right to defend I'm not sure. I thought that they were on good terms because they have seemingly had some, just because let me say this.